Greetings to all furry one.
Guten Tag, Francis.
How are you?
I'm quite well. How are you?
I can't complain.
So, what are we doing here? We wandered in, we happened to run into each other. We had this lovely rolling table in front of us, and there just happened to be a couple of wines sitting
Go
there.
figure. What's the next menu?
This menu is the tasting menu for this year's Feast of the Five Senses. The offering from Lavanya Mahate and Saffron Valley Indian Restaurant.
I love that place. That's such a great
As
restaurant.
do I. You and I both know Lavanya well. She is a fabulous human being. She is also a terrific cook, a lovely person to talk to about food, about wine. She loves everything about food, why it is, what it is, who it is, where it is.
Now, if you haven't eaten at Saffron Valley before, I'd highly recommend it. This is not P.F. Chang's version, Americanized version of the native food. This is Full Metal Jacket, native, beautiful, gorgeous Indian food, all with all the density and richness and deliciousness you can possibly imagine any native cuisine having. Indian food in spades, let's put it that way. It's my favorite in the city, and I luckily live a couple of blocks away.
So with that in mind, we obviously have kind of the hallmarks of the sweeter, savory flavors, the hard, spicy background, balanced out with some acid in the dishes somewhere.
Now, what sort of frames Indian food for you?
I think those hard spices, those warmer spices,
Such as?
Nutmeg, cumin,
Okay.
coriander, the amalgam of those things, the curry spice, fenugreek, fennel, all of those things that imbue a sense of sort of warmth without making them heavy in any way.
Yeah. I mean, the food is incredibly aromatic and very rich and very mouth-filling and very silky on the palate. But like Adam said, this isn't gut bomb stuff. I always feel incredibly healthy after I eat there. It's insane. But with that sort of richness and occasional heat that comes on with those flavors, you have to sort of lean toward wines that don't have a ton of manipulation. So what do I mean by that? No malolactic fermentation, no perceivable oak tannin, and I wanted very clean, very unmanipulated, very fresh wines. And so I went to my friends at Tenuta San Antonio, and this is one of those innovations out of the Veneto that is really fascinating to me, where they've started taking this incredible diversity of grapes and they've started isolating them one at a time to sort of create unique individual expressions of varieties that are native to the area.
Now, before you continue, just tell people quickly where the Veneto is and why the characteristics of this wine are hallmarks of that area.
Northeastern corner of Italy. You have to remember, Italy has viticultural diversity like no other. It's like 6 little countries that have their own, densities of specific grape varieties. This one is an international grape Chardonnay blended with a regional grape called Garganega that you might recognize from Suave. Now, the region of Italy I'm talking about is in that northeastern corner bordering the Dolomites with Austria. It's not super duper hilly because you're not getting up into Alto Adige yet, but you are having some geographical bumpiness, let's put it that way. So there's lots of interesting microclimates. These guys are located on the highest altitude portions of the region, and they have these incredibly dense chalky soils, and it's miserably hard to grow there. The wind sweeps through, the vines stay cold at night, and then they warm up during the day, so there's what's called a diurnal shift, meaning you have wine with body and weight and richness, but also a nice pucker. This one in particular is just a delight. I chill it up, pop the Vino Lock cork, because it has this great little glass cork in here, and it has these beautiful floral aromatics and this nice fresh kind of pink grapefruity quality to it. And it's just a joy to drink, and it doesn't have anything that gets in the way. There's no oak, there's no vanilla, there's no butter, there's no nothing. It's just literally like eating fresh grapes, and it makes a great compliment.
Which is, if you'll allow me, which is really important, especially with the first couple of courses on this menu, which is a lentil, kind of a rich lentil and coconut soup, and then the kale and corn pakora, which is a crisp dumpling, if you will. There's some richness to those. You need something mouthfeel-wise to sort of cut through that and sort of re-energize your mouth as you're going through those bigger, more warming flavor profiles.
Absolutely. You need two things. You need acid and a little roundness and richness. You want to frame food, not smother it with all sorts of processing and tannin. Same thing here. This is just a single grape called Corvina, usually reserved for Amarone or Ripasso wines, but they isolated it and made this little tank fermented wonder here. It's bright, juicy, grapey, It's not extremely high alcohol. Think of it like Beaujolais or Valpolicella with a slight chill. It's just an easy drinking summer red, and I think it's going to be a marvelous complement to the remainder of the menu.
And fabulous in the respect that we have on this menu, there are several different choices for the entree course. One, a turmeric marinated codfish. There's also a chicken tikka masala and a paneer masala. And depending on which one you choose, this can sort of pair equally well across the board. Yeah?
I think so. It's just got a freshness of fruit and none of that interruption of high alcohol, oak tannin, or manipulation that usually tends to fight with richer, denser cuisines like this.
Awesome. I think it's bomb-proof. I appreciate your help.
I think those two are going to crush it with the saffron menu.
Fabulous.
And the good thing is, they're both about $15.
Nice price point too. Francis Fecto, Libation Wines. Thank you very much.
Jellyfish.
My name is Adam. I'm a Slow Food board member. I also play one on TV. Hope all of you enjoy your tasting menu from Saffron Valley for the Feast of the Five Senses.
You play a lot of things on TV.
I do.